This train is my home for the next 5 days as it travels across the whole of Canada from Toronto to Vancouver. And there are many amazing videos of this journey online already. However, I'm doing things a little bit differently. And that's because instead of booking one seat to do the entire journey, I've instead split my ticket into 4 so that I can enjoy economy, the berth, the private cabin, and the luxury prestige class, all in one journey. So let's find out which is the best value for money. Let's begin at Union Station in Toronto. And yes, James is here with me, and today we are traveling in economy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And the first thing we need to do is drop off our massive suitcases because we have booked this journey with 4 separate tickets. Are they going to let us check in the bag and then leave it until Vancouver? Because if not, we have to keep checking in and checking out. That's going to be a nightmare. So pray for us. I hope it's going to be fun.
You won't see them until you get to Vancouver.
Perfect. Amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, they're going all the way to Vancouver. What did you just ask?
We've got allocated seats?
No, we don't have allocated. Not in economy.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
So it's a free-for-all?
It's a bloody free-for-all, James.
Oh.
So whilst James gets us a coffee, I've just found this, which I thought could act as a very professional-looking digital display for me to break down what our journey is actually going to look like over the next 4 days. So we begin in Toronto in economy class, and then at Sudbury Junction is where we swap and we get into the berth, and then we're there until Winnipeg, which is where we switch to the cabin for 2 until we reach Edmonton, which is where we're going prestige, baby. We're going fancy all the way to Vancouver. And when I tell you that I have planned this route to perfection, to the point of where I've managed to get 2 nights in the fancy class for the price of 1, however, we just have to pray that there are no train delays, and thank God Canada is not known for them. It's finally on the board, saying delayed till 10:30. Okay. I was just wondering where everyone was, because this is a big old train, right? And I've just realised they're all in the business lounge.
Can we get in?
No, because you have to book a sleeper class ticket.
I wonder whether if we just flash up.
The problem is the first leg we're in economy, which does not get you access. But this is the lounge that you would normally get access to if you had booked to sleep. Like,
should we try?
Lie flat. Do you want to try? Okay. God, the man could not get there any quicker. This station, by the way, is absolutely stunning. The guy was so nice. He was like, well, you technically shouldn't, because it's for people going the whole way through in a sleeper class. But since you were polite, go on then. Also, because the train's leaving very soon, I was like, I just want to have a look. He's like, go on then. This is what you would get if you had booked the berth, the cabin, or prestige. So you've got a fridge full of juices. There's a coffee machine. There is pop as well, or should I say soda. And there's some bathrooms at the bottom. Free magazines. Oh no, hang on. Are they Oh, okay. You can get them all digitally. I understand now. So yeah, it's a very nice space, but it's not like an airport business lounge where you get booze. Okay, let's go. They're calling it at last. Do you know, I initially was just gonna start filming on the train and not include all this stuff, but I guess this stuff is really important, right? Yeah. To know what you're gonna expect if you decide to get this train for yourself. Now, because we went into the lounge, it means we definitely have last dibs on the economy seat.
Oh, no.
I don't think it's that busy. I think we're gonna be fine. Economy?
Economy all the way to the front. Car 10, first open door.
These trains are huge! Keep walking. We are right at the front. The cabins! We'll see you in a few days. I love trains. Oh my God, look at the view as we come out. Yes. And on we get. And this is home for the next 7.5 hours. First impressions, it is so spacious. This is nice. James, we could do the whole journey in this.
No.
Right, we'll let everyone get settled in, wait until the train starts moving, and then we will do a proper tour. We're on the move, so let's start. So this is the economy carriage, and there can be up to 2 of these, but since it is the off-peak winter season, there is just 1 today, and the formation is 2 seats by 2 seats. And speaking of which, let me show you how roomy these are. Like, I'm sorry, compared to UK trains, this is basically palatial. Look how much room there is for these seats. Not only that, the seats themselves are super comfy, like proper leather. The fact that you get a headrest to help you have a little snooze. You've got an armrest here on one side, and this is the bit that we all want to know about, right? How much does it recline? Especially if you're in here for 4 nights. Are you ready? That's a lot more than many trains I've been on. Remember that dodgy recline in Eurostar? This is so much better. And they have not forgotten your feet, your lower half either. Not only is there a footrest, but there's also something called a leg rest. I have not seen one of these on a train before. And apparently you just pull it up like this. Hang on, I need 2 hands. I'm sorry, that's really lush. Should we give it a go? Look, it's better than nothing. I know it's not a bed, but it's pretty good, right? And in front, we do have a little tray table, but this is going to blow your mind how far it comes out. Why is it so extended? But actually, when you're in your seat, it does make sense. Quite like that. Also, we do have a pocket, which inside has got some information, and also, very importantly, the menu, because we do not get food and drink included in this seat price. We do have to go and buy it for ourselves, so we are going to go test that out in a few moments as well. Also down here is some plugs, and I actually found even more plugs this side as well. So in terms of charging and things like that, no problem at all. Now, let's have a look at the storage. So there is loads of storage up here, but I think me and James have gamed the system because we went for these 2 seats for a good reason. Because look at all the space behind it, where you can hang your coat up and put all your crap down there as well. Right, let's go down the carriage, because first stop, we do have a basket full of freebies. You know I love a freebie. You've got earplugs, and you've also got eye masks, because I have heard that in here they don't really turn the lights off when it gets dark, so you absolutely are going to need these. Then we also have a place for you to fill up your water bottle for free. There's a toilet here as well, and in fact there are 2 toilets per carriage, and the only real difference is down there is baby changing and a bit more room, so I think that's the one that's more accessible. But let's take a look at this one together. There's someone in it. Luckily for you, I popped in before, and you go in, there's a massive mirror, there's a sink, there's a cold tap, a hot tap that doesn't really work, and then there is the shitter. What more do you want to know? And this is the fun bit. We're going to the next carriage. It's empty. And this is the dining car, but also just a really nice other space to come and sit and lounge, stretch your legs a bit. And I do believe that down here we should be able to purchase some food and drink. And I don't know about you, James, I'm bloody starving. Here's our choices, but I personally love this selection, so I think we're going to choose something from here. Dinner is served. What have you gone for, James?
Chicken wrap.
Yeah, chicken barbecue wrap. I've gone for a butter chicken, and then we've got a Coke each. Time to check in, and that cost us, all of that was $31.50. I think for a captive audience, it could be worse. But what's it gonna taste like? Here's the chicken.
Made by me.
By the chef himself.
I'm a chef, by the way.
You are?
Yes, chef. I used to work at the kitchen.
Oh, really? Well, I'm expecting big things then. Everyone on this train is so nice. Like, how many conversations have we had with people?
More than any in the UK.
Everyone is so lovely. That's good. It's very nice, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, you enjoy.
What's your name?
Dinesh Prashad.
Dinesh? Nice to meet you. And this is the bit I've been looking forward to. I have not seen this yet. This is the observation car, known as the Dome. This is so cool. Oh my god. Look at the entire train. Oh my god. And you can see that way too. Look at this. We're about to go around a corner. Film that way. Look at that. That's so cool. The mad thing about this is only economy class passengers can come and use this dome. There are other ones. In fact, you can see the next one along, but they are just for people in the sleeper class. And I personally think it's wonderful that if you do have to come and do this whole journey just in a seat, that you get your own space that no one else can encroach on. And I mean, look around us. There's no one bloody here. Why isn't everyone in this room? This is the best bit. So James, as an absolute travel snob, what are you making of economy so far?
Because it's got so much space. I actually quite like it.
It is good, isn't it? But what if I was to tell you there is no Wi-Fi on this train?
Oh, I know.
But there's no Wi-Fi in any of the classes. The other thing that we should really speak about
Yes, I was going to say this.
is the fact that if you book economy, you also have to sleep in those seats down there. Now, do you think you'd be able to?
I think it'd be very difficult. I would not want to do 4 days in that.
No. But I thought, since we are actually not spending the night in economy, don't get cross. It's just the way that the journey's landed, okay? What I thought was we could go down now and give ourselves an hour and attempt to see how much sleep we could possibly get. What do you think?
A sleep race.
Let's do a sleep off. Come on, my earplugs. Let's go. All right, James, talk to me.
I didn't fall asleep.
What?
I didn't fall asleep.
James falls asleep so easily at home.
It's because I need to be fully flat to fall asleep.
Okay, now I didn't fall asleep, but that's normal. I don't fall asleep in a bed, but honestly, so much comfier than a lot of things. I've had to sleep in a seat on the Caledonian sleeper. This is so much more room and has I've got to say, the leg rest is quite nice.
Fun. I like this.
I do think now, we are both basically 5'8.5",
Yeah.
to be precise. If I was a little bit shorter, it'd be beautiful. Because you see my feet, I've got a slight bend in my knees. But also, James, we're not sleeping here tonight.
Like that.
Which honestly, I do feel like I've messed up, like it's a cop-out. But honestly,
I don't think it's a cop-out.
it was so difficult to book this in 4 tickets where it all had availability. So look, I did the best that I could so that we could show you every element of it. But here's my overall takeaway of the sleep part. I could absolutely do this for 1 night, probably 2 nights, but beyond that, I would be going crazy.
I enjoy half a day here.
Right, before we have to actually pack up and move on to the next...
Are we going?
Honestly, it is soon. I do need to talk to you about prices. So the cost, if you want to go from Toronto to Vancouver in economy, it's going to cost you from £311. Now, for our journey, we've just booked a 7-hour chunk, so it costs us just under £40. But I will give you a spoiler. Hi! We've just been called. We need to move. We need to get our stuff and go to the berth down the corridor. Off we go. Thank you. Into the part of the train we weren't allowed before. You got it? Voila! Welcome to the berth, our home for the next 27.5 hours. And we have now reached a new zone, a new area. We have graduated from economy into the sleeper cars because these seats here was very big. This is 1 each, by the way. These convert into beds because up here is a bunk bed, and that's where James is going tonight. You didn't realise it, but you are. So bizarrely, there's actually a lot less to say about these seats because they kind of are what you see. However, to the side of me here, we do have a light, which is quite nice. Makes it quite ambient. There's a mirror here. There is a button which we can call for our attendant, who's called Bob. Bob is bloody lovely. We've got the window in front of us here, but the one thing that is lacking, which it wasn't in economy, is no plugs. There is nowhere to charge in this area. Apparently there are plugs in the washroom and in the corridor, but it means having to leave your bits out there. So if you do book a berth, I implore you to bring a power bank with you. Fortunately, we have ours, because I knew. But yeah, that for me feels like an oversight. Whoever designed this, they didn't think it through. But something very exciting is about to happen. Bob, the attendant, is about to convert next door into a bed. So let's watch that. It's magic. That's so clever. James, you've seen what you'll be sleeping in tonight. What are you thinking?
I quite like it. Yeah. Now, as long as they're not noisy, I quite like this setup. If they're snorers, I want my suite.
Look what it is. It's the train stopping because freight takes priority on the Canadian railways. This has happened a good few times already and is one of the key reasons why you may be delayed on your trip. But I think at present we're currently about an hour and a half behind. But we'll keep you up to date. Perhaps we'll make back that time. I've just realised we have fans in this section. Oh, that's clever. So we get one per bed. Once the bed's up, we'll have our own fan. There's a men's loo, a ladies' loo. Oh! Oh, hello. It's like it's got its own bloody vanity. Look at this. I can sit down, do my makeup, make myself look pretty. And then you swing around and it's the shitter. Go have a look at the ladies' loo. You've seen the blokes, right?
Yeah. I like the sofa in here.
It's nice, isn't it?
This is much nicer.
Yeah. Soz. Sorry, James.
Hello, still. Well, do I.
For now, it's 6 o'clock. The sun has set. We've got nothing to do. There's nothing on our agenda until 8:30 p.m, which is when it is dinner time and we get to go to the dining car because, yes, food and drink is included when you are sleeping in the berth. Okay, we've just been called for dinner, and by the time we come back, this will have transformed. You'll look like this, basically. But come on, James, let's go. I'm starving. So, we are off to dinner, which is included in the price. And there are 3 sittings. We're in the 3rd and final one. That's why our bed hasn't been made up yet. They wait for you to go for dinner. Whilst you're sat down eating, they convert it. It's quite the track. Also, we just passed some people to backtrack, like a whole carriage. Because it is quite skinny, trying to get past. There's a jigsaw room.
I know.
I found what I'm going to do the rest of the time here. Surely this is where we got to be. Oh my goodness. James! We've gone up in the world. Oh my god. This menu looks delicious. So I'm going to go for the soup as well, please. Yes. And can I please get the chicken with the potatoes? Was it? This is quite the upgrade. This feels so fancy and decadent. Like, the fact that you get this with the berth, I think is incredible. And I'm already thinking, how are the other ones going to possibly beat it for value when you get this included? You don't get alcoholic drinks. We have got some coming. They're $12 each. But still, like, we haven't tried the food yet. So perhaps I'm getting excited before I need to, but I think this is outstanding. It's actually so good. Normally, you would have to share a table with people. So, tables seat 4, and it's a great way to meet people. People on this train already have been so friendly. But the train just simply isn't that busy this evening. And also because we're in the last sitting, which is, you know, the least desirable by some people. For us, it works perfect. So yeah, that's why we've got the table all to ourselves. But if you book this, You may not. Oh my God, show me yours, James. Show me. You've gone for the beef tenderloin. That looks bloody great. And I've got the chicken and leek. This smells so good.
Yeah, I just never know.
It's not his fault, he's not mic'd, but every time you like something, you just go. It's like the Olivia Wilde nod. And yes, I went for decaf, and James went for a black tea. Oh, you get a pop. That was amazing. We're just gonna pop to the observation car. Just pop there to finish off James's beer. Okay. James, this was a bad idea. It's so dark. But if you put lights on, you won't be able to see anything out the window. That's true. Oh no, we have to go to the jigsaw room. I cannot tell you how much this is my dream, to be on a sleeper train whilst doing a jigsaw. Here's how we did, but here's the thing. You leave your jigsaw out and then other people can come and try and finish it. And that's why they call it the jigsaw room. I actually don't know if they call it the jigsaw room. That's why I call it the jigsaw room. Right. The bed should be made now. Sleepover. How mad is this?
This is like plenty of room.
You're not sleeping here, babes. It's so impressive. I just know I'm gonna get such a good night's sleep tonight. So, in fact, before I go to bed, James is gonna give you a tour of upstairs as well. Okay. Off you go. Bye.
Welcome to my top bunk where there's lots of chains and leather and all of the mechanics that you don't see downstairs. I have a beer. I've got a net. I've got a lamp here and a lamp here. I've got a fan. I've got a clock radio. No, I don't. I've got a mirror. And a mirror. I've got...
So I've got not one, but 2 pillows. They've also left some little hand towels. There's also some like shampoo and soap if you want to go get a little shower. And there's a duvet and so much room. They were saying that sometimes you can see the northern lights. So imagine waking up in the middle of the night, opening that and seeing it. Imagine. Okay, all that's left to do is pop these buttons together, close myself off from the corridor and say good night, see you in the morning. Morning. I've been sat here for about half an hour just watching the world go by, and is this not the point? Is this not the point of this train? I love it. But I'm gonna get up and see if I can get in the shower before it starts to get busy, and then I'll come back, we'll watch the view together, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my sleep. Right, let's hope no one's in there. Someone's in there. Come on. Come on. Great success. I love that there's this little bench, so I've got a place to pop my stuff. Also, they gave us this bag of towels, but I love that it's in a waterproof plastic bag. That's very helpful. I've popped my clothes in there too. There's a bin here and a towel disposal here, which is so good, because I was wondering where am I going to put my wet towel after this, and now I don't have to worry. Into the shower cubicle. Oh, these look confusing. Okay. So I just turned that bottom one and it came on straight away. That was so good. Great pressure, great temperature. If anything, it got a bit too hot. I feel clean. That's probably the best shower on a train I've ever experienced. And what's great about the Berth is that there are mirrors in here, so I can finish getting ready without having to get in other people's way. Now, I am normally someone who doesn't bring anything for their hair on holiday. On my last few trips, I have felt like such a scruff bag, so I bought these. They are the GHD travel straighteners. Okay, we'll talk about the night's sleep in a moment, but breakfast closes in 20 minutes, so we better get there first. Yeah, the food has been amazing so far. So we've come to the observation car, the dome, exactly the same as the one in economy.
Yes, identical.
Exactly. Breakfast, divine, delish.
Beautiful.
So good. But let's talk about our sleep, okay?
Yeah.
Hit me. How did you sleep?
Well, to start off with, not very well, because I was showering.
James was like, I'll come sleep down here with you. And I was like, if you have to.
And I abandoned that. And then he said, come back if you want. No, I slept there till morning.
Yeah.
I had a fantastic sleep.
Bizarrely, if you have enough space for yourself, you will sleep better. There's a top tip for you. But no, talk to me about the noises, whether it was rough. Did anything wake you up?
Yes, I woke up quite a bit. Probably like 5-6 times through the night, because it's like clattering. Or sometimes when it stops and starts moving again, it might wake you up. But instantly fell back asleep. Mattress is comfy. It's the right temperature. It's not noisy in terms of other guests.
Very ASMR vibes in terms of the sounds, don't you think?
Big fan.
Yeah, everyone is so kind. So good. I also woke up quite a lot, but got back to sleep so quickly.
Good.
Yeah, so I feel well rested. And the fact that we were both able to have a hot shower this morning
Hot steamy shower.
and then go for a hot breakfast. Like, are you kidding?
Everything's hot.
The plan for today is
Hot reading.
hot reading, hot yoga.
Hot film. No, not hot film.
We have just discovered this whiteboard in the jigsaw room. So I'm very excited for bingo.
Yes, with prizes.
And yeah, we're just going to chill out and we'll take you with us. I was just filming something for Instagram and James has come to get me because apparently the other one of this is about to come past.
I'm not going to see anyone now.
It's going too fast and I'm waving. It is cool though. Bye-bye.
I mean, we never stop. Sometimes we get a little bit of a slower roll, but hello to our friends and everything. That was not satisfying at all. That was a lot of fluff.
Okay, so we've been on the train for over 27 hours and it's going to be the first time that we're getting off. And we're here for about 20 minutes. It's not as cold as I was thinking.
This is okay.
Do you know what? I wasn't craving outside yet, but it is nice.
It is.
It's nice to do a bit of walking outside.
It's crisp.
We haven't filmed much out here because this is where I just filmed the introduction. We missed bingo because I was filming a video for social.
What the hell?
I know, but don't worry because we've ordered a mojito, which is the drink of the day,
Yes.
and we're sat ready and waiting for wine tasting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Here it has a mean words to work with here.
Delish. That was amazing. I love that that's included. Apparently there is a beer tasting coming up as well. But James,
What?
I think it's time to give our final thoughts on the Berth because very soon we will be changing to the next class. So let's first talk prices. So for the entire journey, this is going to cost you from £535, okay? And for those interested, our 27-hour and 33-minute stint cost us £267 per person. Now, let me remind you
Yes.
that the economy seat was £311. So my question to you, James, is, for a difference of £224, Do you think the berth is worth it?
Yes,
Very quick there.
I do think it's worth it because you get your food. Importantly, you get a lie flat bed.
You also get all the added activities. I think it really does take it up to a next experiential level.
Worth the money.
What are the downsides?
These seats aren't as comfy.
No.
Not as comfy as like
Economy.
economy seat. In
Correct.
seat form.
I agree.
not
I
as
agree.
comfy. In bed form, superior.
Also, the lack of plugs, annoying.
Silly. No plugs.
That is frustrating. You can work around it, but it is frustrating, yeah? But here's the thing. I think the next class up, the next level up will answer both of those things.
Plugs and a bed.
But will it be worth it? Will it be worth the next price increase? Because I don't think you're ready for how much more it costs to get a private room. But
We don't know yet.
shall we go and check into our new room?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now.
So the cabins and the berths all live within a carriage, but we are not in this carriage. We are in the next one for our private room. Home sweet home. Oh my God. So we've had to use the 0.5 camera on my phone because this room is quite petite, but let me take you through it. So to my left, right here, is a place where we can put our coats. We've shoved a few bags in there too. There's a little bin. And then up here, there's a tiny little cupboard for shoving stuff in also. And if we turn to my right, there is artwork, because when you pay for a private cabin, you get artwork. And this is, it's called Silence. And hopefully that's what James wants from me after this tour. So I think I'm doing his head in. Anyway, it's a little pouch for you to put your bits. And then up here we have a place for you to hang your coats, and also a fan, very important. And how do you work this fan? Well, there is a switch for it. We can switch between fan and a ventilator. And look what we have here, James. We have the plugs that we were missing in the berth. And here we have all the light switches. As you can see, they work a charm. And we have a button for the attendants. Look what we've got here. It's only a bloody sink. We are so posh, we do not have to share a sink with people anymore. We've got all the bits, which, to be fair, we had in Berth as well. And then if you look up here, there is storage, and that is currently where our bags are hidden from view, because they are vulgar. And what could possibly be behind this mysterious door? Ow. It's a private shitter. Woo! But we do have to still use the shared showers with the berth lot. Disgusting. And finally, we have our seats. And actually, I think these don't look as good as the economy seats. But they do feel a bit comfier than the berth seats. But there is a little magic trick that I can do. I don't know if you know, but this is a thing. No, it's not that I am really strong. It's simply a case of these seats. You can change them around so you can sit and have a view. Okay, we've got to put them back because actually we've been asked to vacate the room because someone's going to come along and turn this into our bedroom for the night. And can you guess where the beds are going to come from? 3, 2, 1. Bed 1, down from the ceiling. Bed 2 comes from there, flips down like that. So by the time we come back after we've had some food, this is going to look totally different. Room tour done. By the way, the staff on here have been so wonderful. They let us not only go to the berth early, but also the room early because there was no one booked in. And they're like, hey, you're the couple that's filming everything. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, if you want to go there early, just so you can get your shots, get it all sorted, feel free. Like, they have been so nice, so accommodating. But normally, if it was booked up, we just have to wait until we get to the station that we had booked to, which is about 2 hours away. And actually, that's just reminded me, the stop that we are getting towards is Winnipeg, where this will stop for 2 hours as long as we're on time. And it's where the entire crew gets off and changes. So everyone that we've known and loved will be getting off. Okay, James, I think it's time to pass the mic. You're going to do the tour.
Welcome to the tour. So this is bed number 1 on the ground floor. Double level lights, plenty of room, shelf, leather, pillow, bedding. Pretty good. Let me show you the upstairs on the first floor. Netted so you don't fall to your death. And then up here, ooh, extra shelves. Loads of headroom to do sit-ups and also double light settings. Yes.
Any plugs up here?
No plugs. Just a doorbell to ring for the attendant when you need tucking in.
Right, we are both knackered, so I'll see you in the morning. Night. It's been a few hours. We got up, we got ready, we had breakfast, we chilled a bit, but now it's time for you, James, to reveal. Did you sleep better in the private cabin?
I did.
Okay, tell me what you liked about it.
It was quieter,
Yes.
more private.
Yes.
No buzzes and beeps from the corridor.
Yes, it was definitely quieter. Also, did you get up in the night to use the private toilet?
No.
I did 5 times.
5. No problem.
I've got a problem.
Cranberry juice.
But at least it was. I wonder if it was psychological though, that my brain knew it was so close and so
Just
it went
there.
more. I only went once with the Berth. Okay, to compare with the Berth, was there anything that the Berth did better?
I think the bed was actually slightly bigger and marginally more comfortable.
Yes, I actually think my night's sleep was quite similar.
Yeah.
Apart from the privateness of it all. And so I wouldn't say there was a massive leap in my sleep quality.
No.
But you do need earplugs for both of them, even though it is quieter.
I didn't need earplugs.
I
was
need
out.
earplugs. Yeah, exactly. So still noisy, but less noisy. But shall we? Do you know what's hilarious?
What?
Because we've been faffing around this morning. The next thing on our agenda is lunch. So we're actually a little bit early for lunch. So we're sat in the carriage before, which is the activity car that you've already seen, which I've renamed the jigsaw car, James. Someone's doing our Disney jigsaw.
What?
That's okay, because that's what happens. You do it as much as you can, you leave it for the next person to finish, and we're sat here with another one ourselves. But basically, how it works with lunch is the day before, they ask you, do you want to be in the first sitting, the second sitting, and sometimes there's a third sitting. And today, we're in the third. You have to be in the same sitting for both lunch and dinner. And when it's time to eat, somebody comes through the whole train shouting, saying, final call, third sitting. So that's what we're waiting for. When we hear that, we'll be able to eat. But for now, I've got a jigsaw to do, James.
Come on then.
It is a good one. Look at all the dogs. Literally, every jigsaw we do has 4 pieces missing. I'm doing the doggies in the basket bit. Because someone helpfully put all the bits together. Also, I'm not sure if I showed you this yet, but in the activity car, there are snacks and teas. Oh, sorry, hang on. We have an Englishman here who'd like to give his review on the tea.
Why, thank you. I normally like a Yorkshire tea, and nothing comes near it, but this is a Met tea, and I'm enjoying it, you know.
Another amazing meal, but now something very exciting is going to happen because we have actually not explored the entire train yet. Behind me, through that door, is more, and it's time. We've left it until now, but it is time. Woo! Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so this here is the prestige class, which we will be checking into in a few hours' time at like midnight. But we are still allowed to walk down here and look at these beautiful walls because there is another observation dome at the back, and apparently the lounge is pretty special as well. Oh, cool. It's like a little bar area. That's amazing. I keep falling. And up here. This is cool. Oh wow. So basically, because it's the winter season, anyone can come into the back of these two cars.
Nice.
Yeah. But I believe in the peak summer season, when it's really busy, they limit the hours in which you can come if you're just in the berth or the cabin. And they like keep this area for the prestige.
For the VIPs.
The VIPs. But yeah, because we're here in the winter. It's full of people that we know from the berths and the cabins.
It's a free-for-all.
Yeah. On our way back to the room, and there is one thing I want to show you if I can find it empty. Ah, yes, this might do. So there is actually one more type of accommodation that we are not staying in, we are not showing you, and this is it. It is a cabin for one. It's a lot smaller. And basically the bed comes down from here, it swings down. I've managed to find one which I think they must be using as a bit of a cleaning closet right now, because otherwise they are booked up. But there is a door here that closes, and there's also a curtain that you close, so you get your privacy. The one thing that I think some of you may think is a bit weird, and maybe I do too, is look at this. Yep, that's your toilet. You also have a sink, and as for your storage, it all goes up there. But look at this, a big window all to yourself. So that's another option as well, but I better go because I don't think I'm allowed in here. Okay, we were not expecting this, but we've just had a knock on to say that we're coming into Saskatoon. It is now 4:10, and we can move to Prestige.
Yes.
If we want to. Just to point out, we were not supposed to get into that until midnight. That's a huge amount of time early. They have been so nice and so accommodating, and basically I think it helps them out also in the long run, because it means that they don't have to like faff around or switching us out as someone new coming in at the exact same time. But this is an outrageous amount of time early.
8 hours early?
Yeah, but I don't know, because we do get extra freebies with Prestige. So whether or not we get the free drinks yet, we may have to wait until tomorrow for them. But let's pack up, James.
Come on.
We're doing our final move. Before we get too excited, I do need to quickly give our final thoughts and opinions on the cabin, and also talk to you about prices. Let's remind ourselves how much the berth price started from, okay? And now let me tell you how much the private cabin starts from. Yep. And my question to you in the comments is, do you think that's worth it? I think it's not. Personally, for me, the berth is still winning. Certainly for value, for the fact that you still get access to all the same food, all the same activities, things like that. I think that's going to be really difficult to beat. Have I liked the private cabin? Yes, I have. But also, I think I quite liked how cute and quaint the berth was. So yeah, that's currently my front runner. I am struggling to see how the Prestige is going to beat it. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful, but value for money, perhaps not. Oh, and the cabin for one starts at this much for the entire journey. And for just over 24 hours in the cabin for two, it cost us £400 each. As the bougie luxury one of us,
Yes.
tell me, having known the price difference, which one would you book again in the future?
This one.
Really? Why?
Quieter. Private. I think the other one was comfier. But I like having my own space. Toilet. Sink. I had my own lamp. I had power. I paid double for power.
Okay. Let us know in the comments who you side with. Would you be more value for money, the berth, or more need a bit of privacy, James? Right.
Let's move.
I think it's time. We have stopped.
They're off. We've got to
We've
go.
stopped. We're in Saskatoon. Which way? I cannot get over the fact we're able to move this soon. This is silly, but also, have we found the most cost-effective way to do
so.
Prestige? How many hours do we get in this now? Like 40? We get 40 hours in it, and of course...
Do we?
Yeah, you don't know the price yet, so perhaps you...
I think it's worth it.
I don't know. Oh my God.
Yes.
This is so good. And I do not mean to tease you, but here's the thing. It's got dark, the bed's out, we want to do a full proper tour for you, and there is beer tasting in the activity cart. James, have you had a drink already?
Maybe.
I can tell. I just sent James off to go check out down there.
Let's go beer
I can
tasting.
Tell. Right, I need to catch up. Right, let's do this first. Good morning from Prestige. Today I will be giving you a tour of the cabin, showing you everything that's included and also telling you how much money it costs. First thing that you may notice is that this carriage is a lot newer. It's leather clad, there's beautiful woodwork, and this here is our room. And unlike any other of the cabins, this actually locks from the outside, and to get in you do need a card key. Why, hello there, welcome to my private cabin. This is ridiculous. So the obvious thing we have to start with is this magnificent seated area, which is absolutely ginormous, and this does convert into a double bed, which you will see properly after once it has converted. But yeah, it's more than big enough to be able to lounge out this way and also lounge out this way. Up here we have storage. We have a lovely Via blanket, 2 bottles of water. This here is not included in the room normally. It's a birthday card from James to me, because today is my birthday. And right here we have a box of tissues. So this is where the bed will drop down from. And to the side here, we are able to call for an attendant if we want anything. They can come and stock something I'm about to show you in a second. You also have, this is very exciting, a washroom heat boost, which when you press it will make your shower, yes, there's a shower coming up, hot, but not only that, it will heat the floor in there as well. And then we've just got a load of different buttons for changing the lighting. And as you sat down, you get to take in this view. And this window is absolutely huge. It's actually 33% bigger than the windows down there. And as if the view was not enough, you also have a television, which is wild to me on a train. And underneath here, it looks like a fridge. It's not quite a fridge. It's a chiller. So stuff in there will be slightly below room temperature. And in here, there's a teeny tiny cupboard where you can hang up about 2 big coats. And down here is where all the storage is. And this here is a coffee table. And these are all the bits that they gave us. So this is like an introductory hello little card. They gave us these, which we get to keep, which as a massive train geek, I'm very excited to read through. And there's also a guide about how everything works and a pen too. In the front, you've got a couple of just storage drawers. And this is the really fun bit. Look at this. It only bloody moves. And in this bit here, there is a lovely hidden bin. And here's the bathroom. Now, it is quite a tiny space, but it does have everything you could possibly need and more. Because up here, we have fresh towels. We also have more towels for drying your hands. There are our things in here. I'm sorry, we have had to use this space already. But this was what was left in here for us. So many different toiletries. Can't believe how many there are actually. Swooping down here to your own private shit, where once again, you press this and wait for the flush. Is it a luxury tombre? Oh, come on. Luxury. There's a bin, there's toilet roll, there's a beautiful sink with hot and cold water, but the exciting thing is the shower. Once again, it is compact, but I showered in this morning and it was hot, it had great pressure, and honestly, for a train, I think it's outrageous. And that concludes the daytime section of our Prestige cabin tour. We'll show you the bed down in a bit, but for now, I do believe there's some views coming up. Breakfast was a little different today, not because we're in Prestige, but because we are approaching Jasper, and no matter which way you are going on the train, this day you always get a continental breakfast, and instead of lunch there is a brunch, so it is a bit different. Today's set to be a big day for views, but first we're going to use our first Prestige perk, true Canadian coffee. Oh my God, James, with the maple syrup.
try it.
Because maple syrup is sweet, but it's not like
No.
processed sweet.
And it depends entirely on how much you put in there.
Okay, I've just found a new favourite thing.
Is that for you?
No, I'm gonna say better.
And this is the second perk of the day, because we are in chairs only for prestige people.
At the front.
At the front, though, you could get at the front in the observation car down there.
Yeah, but
But this is closer to
there's
the
a
bar.
little flap that says reserved here.
Now, you may notice that we are stopped right now. That does happen a lot when we're letting freight pass. However, we haven't really spoken about this because up until yesterday, we were delayed by an hour or two, but it wasn't too bad.
No.
They were like, we'll make it back up. We'll get into Vancouver on time. However,
It's got a bit worse.
yesterday there were freight trains with engineering issues,
Yes.
which slowed us down probably like 3-4 hours.
And then
Today, a freight train in front of us has derailed, which is really bad.
bad.
We've seen it as we've been passing.
Everyone's safe.
Everyone is safe.
But they've all gone into the verge.
Yeah, so basically, we're in a bit of a backlog and we're several hours behind now.
Yeah.
But the only good news is...
We've got a bar. And a double bed.
Good news is we are delayed in the best class possible.
Yeah.
So if we'd been delayed beforehand, we would have had to wait longer to get into this bit.
Yeah.
But in a bizarre twist of fate, it just means we get longer, which, do you know what, is really
dear.
helping our value for money.
Yeah. It's making it even better value.
So,
I'm delighted.
yeah.
Not at the derailment,
No.
but at the extra time I get to spend in prestige.
But once we get moving, that's when we will start to see the views. We are heading towards Jasper today. And fingers crossed we're not so delayed that when we're going through the Rockies it's darkness, because that could potentially happen now.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, because I really want to see them. And we're finally moving again. This is the first drink of the day.
Yeah. Is it afternoon yet?
Not yet.
We are like 3 minutes from the afternoon.
That's
It's fine. It's fine. So we do need to go and get brunch. So normally we share a table with people, but I think we're quite late to the party. But it does mean I can chat to you a bit more in here. I have been trying as best I can to keep people's privacy, so I haven't been filming much at dinner, as I'm sure you will have realised. But here is the brunch menu. This is what we're dealing with today. Okay, this is great. This has been the fastest we've gone in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Get us to Jasper. We want to see the Rocky Mountains in the daylight, please. I went for the banana bread French toast, and they've just bought this for me. And the fact that I have my own little gravy boat of maple syrup is making me so happy. What have you gone for from the brunch menu?
I've gone for eggs Benedict,
Okay.
Canadian bacon, English muffin.
Yeah, that looks really good. But take a look at mine. I've never had banana bread French toast before. I'm going to try it without the syrup first. Incredible. But now, oh yeah. A reminder though that this is not a prestige thing. You would get the same food if you had booked the Berth, but you would have to pay for this. This is the perk of prestige, unlimited extra drinks. We've got another prestige perk because it's 3:30 and we've just been delivered camembert. It's camembert, hot camembert with crackers and grapes. Civilization. So we have good news and bad news. The good news is we've seen the most amazing views of the Rockies as we've been coming into Jasper. The bad news is we are so late into Jasper. It's 25 to 5. We have to have an hour here. And it means that any of the views that we were promised onwards, we will not see because the sun will have gone down.
We were really hoping that the rail traffic controllers were going to give us a good ride, but they don't want to let us around any of the freight trains today.
Oh,
So
we
we're
won't see the
following into
Rockies.
Jasper, 4 o'clock, 4:30 into Jasper Station.
but we have to be grateful for the fact that we saw anything. But for now, we're getting our bits on. We're gonna go into Jasper.
Let's go.
We have 1 whole hour before we need to be back on the train. We cannot miss going back off the train.
Can't miss it.
You know what you also can't miss?
What?
That hair.
Oh shit.
See what you just said?
It's quite a niche comment, but it's a bit like Cheshire Oak. Do you know what I mean? It's like this shop front.
A shopping
It
outlet.
looks quite new.
Okay, I've been told we should try one of these.
Beaver tails.
Yeah.
What's that?
What's that? It's worse. Okay, these are the options, James. I have had a lot of sugar today, so I'm thinking the classic.
What with cinnamon and sugar? Yeah, okay. You can get poo tail.
Poo tail.
And the bottom of that menu, poo tail.
Do you want a poo tail?
No.
Oh, there we go. So it's a classic Canadian treat. It's basically fried dough. I guess it's like their version of churros or a big donut. Let's try it. We've got the cinnamon and sugar. Do you know what it's most similar to? Like a Hungarian langosh. Really similar to that kind of consistency. It's bloody delicious. Do you want to try?
Very floppy.
It's very floppy.
Flaccid. Like it?
It's nice.
It's light.
Oh, James, I found where we can come stay if we come back. Oh, look at the baked goods.
£4.
85. Did you leave a tip?
$1.
Okay, so it was 3.80.
Generous guy.
Okay, back to the train. We've got to wait until they let us back onto the platform. And you have to remember to bring your ID. So for me, that's my passport and your boarding pass. Otherwise, you might not be able to get back on, which would be a nightmare. And we've just realised, look, this here, there's a gent in it, so I'll try and cut him out. Or actually, I'll blur his face. But this is the disabled / accessible room here. We're back on board and we're making the most of Prestige because in front of me is a bottle of sparkling wine and also some crisps that you cannot buy. You can only get them when you're in Prestige. Cheers! Than we expected to show you the room fully done because look, it's my birthday. I had a few martinis, but here we are. You ready? You ready to see what it looks like? Come on. So here the bed is, and the great news is I actually filmed a load of shots of this when we first arrived last night when I was much more sober than I am now. Now that it's here in front of my eyes, like, they have set it out so nicely this evening. We've got sets of chocolates on the bed. There's some waters for us as well. There's a little blanket down here. All our bags now are underneath the bed. And look, for a train, it's a double bed. That's pretty bloody special, don't you think? The only thing I will say is that it really decreases the amount of space you have here. So for 2 people, there is a bit of like bobbing and weaving as we have to get ready. But ultimately, for a train, it's bloody delightful. Good night. See you in the morning. Look what James did. This is very cute, James.
I made it myself.
It actually looks so professional.
I thought it was coming pre-threaded, but it wasn't.
It looks so good.
There you go.
Right, it's got to come down now, sorry.
Yeah, cut it down.
So, as we crawl closer to Vancouver, let's finally talk about the price of Prestige. Are you ready? Here we go. this is how much it's going to cost you. And that price is if there are 2 of you sharing this space. If you are on your own, there is no solo discount. You are paying the full whack all yourself.
And for our stint, it cost us this much, which is outrageous. But remember, we did get 2 nights stay for this price. So this is actually one of the most cost-effective ways to do Prestige if you're desperate to try it.
Now, obviously, I like things that are value for money, and therefore this is a bit of a conundrum for me because I've bloody loved it. It's been wonderful. The service is incredible. This is such a beautiful, comfy little cabin to stay in. But ultimately, this is worth it if you are loaded. It's all relative. It's all relative. But look, we're going to get off the train. Me and James are going to chat to you and rank all of the different classes in terms of our preferences and give you our final thoughts. But yeah, it has been a delight to try this out, and I just want to say a massive thank you if you have subscribed, if you have ever commented on a video, if you are following me on Instagram. Thank you so much. You are the reason why I am able to afford to pay for silly trips like this, so thank you so much. And if you are not subscribed already, now is a perfect time to do it. But let's get off this train and we will give you our final thoughts. Thank you. Vancouver. And the train trip is over, James.
It is.
I'm so sad. I had so much fun. Right. But I thought we needed to give our final thoughts, yeah? And I've actually written a little something about who I think each of the classes is for.
Ooh, prep.
Okay? Prep. So economy. I think economy is for people with journeys no more than 1 night, or if you have a brilliant ability to sleep absolutely anywhere, and you also don't mind being around people who haven't showered for 4 to 5 days.
No.
Berth. Berth is for people who simply want the best value for money, who expect to be spending most of the times in the communal cars and not where they're sleeping.
I agree with that.
The cabin is for people who prioritise their privacy and who would hate having to share a shower. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me also. Yeah. I like privacy.
And Prestige is for people who aren't ready to compromise space and standards for the sake of a train adventure.
Yes.
Or those who don't mind splashing the cash for a treat and therefore value for money isn't even present in their minds.
Splash.
Yeah. Okay, so who wins? I will let you have your say in a second.
Okay.
But for me, the Berth.
Okay.
The Berth absolutely wins because, look, you're getting the same views, the same activities, the same food and drink, and the same access to the same people.
Yeah.
As the people who are paying for the cabin for 2, and actually for a lot of what Prestige is paying for.
Yeah.
As well. So I think that's a clear winner. But what about you, James?
I'm going to shock you. My favourite was Prestige. I enjoyed the room was beautiful.
Yes.
It was very good. Food was obviously the same, but the ability to go and have a drink whenever you wanted, and the service from Tyler and Francois, amazing.
But you have to pay for that privilege.
But it was free when I was on board.
Some cost fallacy. So look, I thought what we would do is really quickly rank each of the classes, okay? Because it might surprise you to hear that I would say Berth, then Prestige, and then cabin for 2 is so much further down. And then economy for the entire trip, not just for a partial trip, is like, I wouldn't even like consider it.
No.
I wouldn't consider it. It's just, I don't think it's a comfy way to do it.
No. I think, so mine were Prestige, then a Berth.
Yes.
Second, I didn't really like the room. I would actually give up the door because I wouldn't spend any time in there.
Yeah.
I didn't like the 2-seat situation, really.
Yeah.
I think that the economy seat was good if I was going...
For 7 hours.
Up, I'd even go up to half a day. I couldn't sleep in it.
Yeah.
No sleep.
So actually, I think we both agree that the Berth is brilliant value for money.
Excellent value.
But if
Berth
you
is-
are someone who likes the nice things in life, Prestige.
Oh, that's good, man.
The final thing I wanted to mention, there's two final things. A lot of the Canadians we spoke to who were on that train all said that they bought their tickets in the sale, the Via Rail sale, which happens, sometimes they do flash sales, but often for Canadian Thanksgiving, it's a different point of time to American Thanksgiving, so make sure you keep an eye out for that, sign up for emails. They saved quite a lot.
Yeah.
Someone got the berth for around £350, which is
Whole journey.
incredible.
5 days.
And the last thing that we have to mention, because I didn't really capture it on video, because I was trying to keep everyone's privacy and also enjoy the trip for myself.
Yeah.
The best thing about this train is the people you meet.
It's lovely. Lovely group of people. You get to spend time and ask questions that you wouldn't ever get to ask in normal life.
We learned so much about Canada,
Yeah.
and most people are very like-minded, I would
Yeah.
say. It's very sociable. If you are a recluse, don't go on this train.
No, it's just a lovely bunch of people that you're sat with different people each night for dinner, for lunch, for having drinks at the bar.
Yeah.
We've met so many lovely people on it.
Yeah. And it really, like, sorry to get a bit soppy, it warms your heart a little bit, and it reminds you that most humans have so much in common, and we can all get on and have the best time together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a nice point as the luggage gets driven past us, so you can hear the beeping, to say thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to let us know in the comments which of the classes you would go for, and if there are any more amazing train trips you would like us to test out for you.
Yes, which luxury trains?
No, they don't have to be luxury. They don't have to be luxury. But, right, let's go and explore Vancouver.
Go and get my bag.
Bye!